Cricket is my passion and I cannot avoid it.
With the series locked at 1-1, with 2 test matches shared one each by India and England, we now head to Motera for the third test match, which is a day-night with the pink ball. A lot has been spoken about the Motera wicket. There's a lot of grass being left behind. They say the pink ball test match, India's last pink ball test match. We're here to discuss with our elite panel of Bharat Army, that is Naresh and Dia. Welcome to all of you.
Thanks, Anish.
Thank you.
We missed you, both of you all, I guess, last time. Probably Dia was missed last time. So let me start with Dia.
Yeah.
The Motera test match, pink ball. So first tell me, how excited are you about this pink ball test match?
Actually, after that Adelaide disaster with the pink ball, this is definitely going to be a really exciting one for sure, because already we had like one test match, the pink ball that happened in Eden Gardens. If we are carrying that confidence, it will be great. But if we are carrying the horrors of the another pink ball test match, then it will be difficult. But I think this is going to be an evenly balanced match, I think, because England cannot no longer say that they are going to be alien conditions for them or anything. They already have played 2 test matches in India, so they are pretty much used to with the conditions. And the Motera pitch is something that even the Indians right now are not aware of, that how the pitch is going to play. It can be a seaming track, it can be a slower track as well, and can favor the spin. So I think going into this test match, it looks evenly balanced. England has played a lot of test matches, pink ball test matches. Meanwhile, India, it's going to be their third test match. So I think it's an evenly balanced test match, and let's see how it turns out to be.
Naresh?
Oh, very excited, yes, considering Adelaide is something which even if we try, we won't be able to forget. But very excited about it. Unfortunately, can't be there. Would have loved to be there personally, at least on day one. But yeah, taking all the precautions that are required and not traveling. More at stake for India, to be honest, because a 1-1, India would have not liked a 1-1 at this point of time. At least if they could have drawn or won even the first test and gone 2-0 or 1-0 in. That's why a lot at stake for India. Home conditions, a lot of expectations, and yes, as Dia said, the pitch would be new for both, but it will be favoring the Indian side. It would be more favoring India. Whatever little grass is there, I think we won't see it by the time the game starts. There are comments it may be similar to Test 2 turning track. But England, I think they have to enjoy the moment. They're part of this historic moment of an absolutely new refurbished ground of Motera. Though it is 50%, that is still 55,000, equivalent to any other full house. So England has to enjoy the moment. For India, lots at stake. If they can win it, great. They go into the last test with heads high towards the World Test Championship. But a loss would not be good for India, because it would come across that India is not yet ready for pink test against the big guns. So as I said, how much ever we try, we can't forget Adelaide. But a lot at stake for India.
Since you mentioned, Naresh, that we can't forget Adelaide. In fact, I was just writing a small scribe for one of the newspapers here. So Dia, this is like that Diwar scenario where Amitabh Bachchan is never able to forget what was written on his hand. So will that badge number 36, kya India bhul payega?
Australia, the conditions were different. The bowling lineup itself was different. I feel it was, that 36 all-out pitch was actually doing a lot and was definitely one of the spiciest pitches of that tour. And Australian bowling lineup itself, they were, breathing fire during that time. And, this time it's in India. The conditions are going to be different. And even when it happened in Eden Gardens, we were able to score 300 odd runs, although it was against Bangladesh. But still, I think we should carry the confidence from the Eden Gardens test match rather than the Adelaide one, because again it's going to happen in India, and if we can back our instincts like we did in the second test match, then we are very good. We are good to go for this test match, and we should just forget the horrors of that 36 all out, because as Ravi Shastri also had said, that we are going to carry it as a badge. So if that is the case, just carry it with pride rather than looking down upon it. Just carry it with pride, and maybe rather than 36 go more and maybe 336 or score something like that. that will be very good to see. This is what I think.
Naresh, I want to again ask the same question to you. Probably Dia has sent it in a very Indian style way. But imagine you are a part of that squad. Okay, we went on to win that series after that loss. And Ravi Shastri said that we'll carry this badge. But Virat Kohli, the Rahanes, the Pants, whoever, I think Pant was not of a part of that match, but whosoever was part of that match where India were 36 for 9 or lost that match so badly and India's lowest score, won't that mental scare will be there when you go on to play another pink test match? Okay, albeit it is in India.
There would be definitely learnings from that game purely, and knowing how this team is, they wouldn't look at the score. They would look at correcting those errors, especially outside the off stump, and that is what even England go in with a very good bowling attack. If Anderson and Broad play together, that would be a real good outing to watch out for us. But yeah, the most important going to be about the off stump, how India plays that, especially in the different sessions. Adelaide, it was the first two sessions where we actually lost out, or rather the first session on day 3. And as I mentioned on the last call also, that it's the first session that is now a matter of concern, and how they address that. If we get a start the way we did in the last test with Gill and Rohit Sharma, and one of them go on to make big score, I think we will erase that issue that we currently have. And Adelaide, those who are there in the squad, they would remember the embarrassment. But I think the reason Ravi Shastri Singh carry that is to come back up the way we came back up, after that 36. I think that is what needs to be remembered more.
All right, both have given a very diplomatic answer. Yeah. I cannot imagine what it must be being a part of that 36 for 9 not out, but nonetheless, life moves on, as they say.
Yeah, and just wanted to add, that was the first test of the series. I think if it would have been the last test of the series, the reactions would have been different. Repercussions could have been different, but because it was the first test and we had a series ahead of 3 more test matches to go, it came across as let's live in hope and let's move ahead from there.
All right. I simply ask this question because we are playing after that, the pink ball test match. Now, you see, even though we played 3 test matches, we bounced back and we went on to win the series. And I was reading a very nice article on Crick Info that the pink ball has a lot of lacquer, Dia. Now, this lacquer makes the ball heavy and the ball comes onto the bat. And when you catch the ball, it's like rock solid. But this lacquer stays as long as there is grass. Now, I'm not sure how it actually works, but if India leave grass on the wicket, so far it has been left, it's not been shaved off. And we all know at the end of the day, probably it might be a totally shaved off grass just for Indian spinners to come into the match. Now, presuming India leaves the grass behind and takes England head on, you think India will do that?
Again, I think that leaving the grass thing, I feel even if you leave grass for just day 1, it can stay maybe till the by the lunch session of day 2. That's it, because I think it's India, the conditions are very different. It's not England or Australia where the grass is going to stay on for a longer bit of time and it's going to swing or seam. I think this is what not Indian conditions, even in Eden Gardens as well, when back in 2017-18 this test match happened between India and Sri Lanka, and the conditions were seaming and swinging, and there was a bowler, Lakmal. So he was, he took a fifer, I guess, in the first innings when, India was, bowled out for like 170 odd runs. So even if they leave grass, again, it depends on the toss. So even if they win the toss, of course, India is going to bat first. Then it will depend if the grass is there. I think India, they should definitely bat on. But again, that will depend. If they're leaving the grass, they should not be batting, because then we would want England to come in and bat so that, we are able to take wickets and then bat in, when the conditions ease out. So this is what I feel. But again, I feel that, the grass is going to stay on if they, keep it till the day 1. it will go off by day 2. This is what I feel, and India should definitely go on to bowl. Jasprit Bumrah should definitely come back in then instead of Mohammad Siraj, and then we can expect to like the pitch doing something, especially in the twilight period, because that's when it becomes difficult for the batsmen to bat. So I think by the twilight period we should make use of that, and just go for the kill, and just bowl them out for less than 250 or something.
So you want India to keep grass. That's what are you trying to say?
Yeah, they should definitely. That will be very interesting to see, to spice things up. This is what I feel.
All right. Naresh, before I come to you, I remember having this topic with Michael Hussey, and I asked him about the Melbourne Test match where India bounced back with Rahane and Indian bowlers. And he told me that when I asked him that it was a good toss for Australia to win and they batted first. So he said, no, it was a good toss for India to lose because he had never seen so much of grass, and Indian pacers utilized that conditions well and bowled Australia out for, I think, 180 odd or 200 runs. And then the second day also was difficult. But after losing 5 wickets, it was Rahane who made, with a partnership with Jadeja, we came back. So now my point, the same point what I'm going to ask you. Now, if India leave grass, mind you, they have going to have Anderson back. They're going to have Jofra. And I wouldn't be surprised if they go with Stuart Broad if there is grass.
Yeah.
So are we going to tackle them with 3 pacers from our sides?
Yeah, and just to add, if not Stuart Broad, it could be Chris Wokes, because then they can bat more deep. He's an all-rounder. He's not got a game yet, and I don't know how their rotation policy is around for this tour. But for India, I think it's a three pacer, 2 spin attack. We'll see Bumrah coming back, and there are talks of Umesh coming in for Kuldeep. So because Umesh did very well in the first pink ball we played against Bangladesh at Eden Garden. And that could be the reason he's fit. As of now, he's been declared fit. But coming onto the pitch, compared to Melbourne, there's another very important aspect that played, and that's why that innings of Ajinkya Rahane has to stand out. It was overcast. That day 2 at Melbourne was completely overcast. It was dark, and that's where Ajinkya Rahane probably played the most difficult inning of that series. We won't see that in Ahmedabad. I think it's a very hot climate at this point of time. We are going to start in the afternoon, which will be in high 30s. But later on, as the sun sets, the dew factor will come in. The ball will fly around. And what little bit I saw in the Saeed Mushtaq Ali, this ground is too fast. The outfield is very, very fast and good grass. So the shine will last for long. But as far as on the pitch is concerned, there may be some grass, but it will be deceptive. It will be very dead. The spinners would come in, they'll get a good bounce. Even the spinners would get a good bounce like we saw in the second test in Chennai. But this grass is actually just holding the soil together. I don't think it will be will be difficult to bat on. Yeah.
So the grass is just deceptive, as you said. It won't be kept for the English bowlers or the other fast bowlers to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of YouTubers talking about the English players, rather Jofra Archer has already mentioned it's showtime, guys. I'm already seeing the grass, but don't be surprised if everything is shaved out and you see a bare-laden Ahmedabad wicket, which will help the spinners.
Yeah, but after sunset, definitely, however the conditions would be or however the pitch is, the pacers would have something in it. They would get some swing. It gets a little cooler later on after the sun sets, so pacers would enjoy it. It's not that they won't get any assistance. And that's why 3 pace, I think minimum 3 pace, both the teams, Broad and Wokes both together. 4 pace may be a bit too much for England with just Jack Leach as a spinner, but 3 pace, both teams are going for it.
Yeah, he has given England's choice, spaces, and also he said Umesh. Ishant, Bumrah are a must. And then you take even Ashwin. Who are your other 2 bowlers?
Kuldeep Yadav, if I talk about him earlier in the Chennai test match, we went for 3 spinners because that was pretty obvious. Knowing the conditions were like quite different, it's like a very turner. That pitch was a turner of a track. But I think now Kuldeep Yadav was the last bowler that they went to. He hardly bowled like 12-13 overs in that test match. So I think he will be dropped for this test match for sure. And I think an option of Hardik Pandya is also there, because if he has been kept in the team, I'm still not sure if he's going to bowl or not. If he's going there as purely as a batsman, there is like no use according to me. And I think Mohammad Siraj as well will be definitely dropped. And since Bumrah is there, Ishan Sharma is there, we can go in with Umesh Yadav. And if not Hardik Pandya, then we already have Akshar Patel and Ravichandran Ashwin. And it's actually Akshar Patel's home ground. He plays for, Baroda, like in that ground only, I guess. So I think that conditions might also help in him. So yeah, I think that can be the combination according to me. Or else they can go with Hardik Pandya if he is gonna bowl. Because I think if he has been kept in the team, there must be some reason or some hidden thing that still that has not been revealed if it's gonna bowl or not. So if he's gonna bowl, that might come as a surprise package for the England team as well, and he can give us handy overs. And of course, he's gonna be great with the bat. So I think that can also be a great option.
So Dia says India will go with Ishant, Bumrah, and you want obviously Umesh Yadav instead of Siraj. And if Pandya is going to bowl, then obviously you want Pandya. Correct?
Yes.
All right. That's nice to hear. Both of you all backing Umesh Yadav. We need to wait and watch. In fact, I also read that the China wrist persons, rather China bowlers, the guys like Kuldeep are difficult to read with the ping ball. Not sure what Virat Kohli comes up with, because with Virat Kohli, you always have a suspense of the side. So we need to wait and watch. Okay. Now, let me come back to an important point again about this Ahmedabad test match. We all know that this test match, as Naresh says, that is so important, especially for India, because if India lose one test match, then they are out of the reckoning for the World Test Championship. Now, keeping that in mind, that the players are saying that they are not bothered, they are taking one test match at a time, and they probably are not so much concerned about not playing the World Finals. But obviously, we all know at the back of our minds that we all Indians, along with the players, want to be qualifying for that final along with New Zealand. Now, I wouldn't be surprised, Naresh, if India leaves, as you said, deceptive grass and the spinners come into play. But if there's dew, and you said it's cool, and what I understood from my friends in Ahmedabad, that it gets chilly in the night, Ahmedabad, because it's still February, the summers have still not hit. So do the spinners still make an impact with the dew?
Yeah, because and that's what it is so deceptive, the way the conditions are, because Saeed Mushtaq Ali just got over 2 weeks back, and the final, Tamil Nadu in a T20 played 4 spinners, and it was difficult to score. Just 125 was scored against those 4 spinners. So that's the reason I'm using the word deceptive. You can read it differently, but it will behave differently. And that's the reason he would go in with Akshar and Ashwin, is because of the finger spin. Kuldeep will have that problem with the wrist spin, and will not be that effective. Akshar Patel knows the conditions the best. He is, as Dia said, his home ground. Ishant Sharma, his 100th test match, it's an occasion for him. But from the spin perspective, Ashwin has done very well. He rather opens. He's more an opening bowler now for India, irrespective of the conditions and the type of ball. So I think these 2 spinners are sure to play. The bounce will be there once dew comes in. They will get some extra bounce also, and something off the pitch when it comes to the pace. For both the spinners, they'll be a little quicker. So I think, yeah, both of them are going in because they are finger spinners.
Generally they say dew is like your first date. You don't know how it's going to turn out to be. Yeah. Now, in case the dew comes, and Naresh says the finger spinners won't have a problem, whereas a wrist spinner might have a problem in gripping the ball. Let's presume there is dew on all 5 days. Okay. हमने मान लिया कि भाई dew आना ही आना है. I don't know whether the match is going to last for 5 days or 4 days, but 4 days the dew is going to come. So then fast bowlers are a better choice than spinners, Dia?
Yeah, actually, but I agree on. Actually, I was gonna answer the same thing only, because it's the thing with finger spinners that they, don't get much bothered with the, dew factor and everything. It's more with the wrist spinners, who face much difficulty with the dew. But again, I think that India should definitely go in with at least 2 spinners. If Hardik Pandya is not bowling, if Hardik Pandya is bowling, then maybe we can drop Akshar Patel and go in with Ashwin and Hardik Pandya. That can also be one option, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. And it will be better if the fast bowlers, because if we can rotate them in that manner during the entire course of the test match, that, the fast bowlers are fresh by the twilight period, and they come in and attack during the twilight period, because that's when we can expect a little bit of swing. Then I don't think that spinners should be, getting much overs to be bowled. Then it can be the pacers like Bumrah and Ishant who can be bowling during that particular time during the twilight period. This is what I feel.
You know, yeah, I find you very perplexed and a little confused about your selection. Uh, maybe I think Virat Kohli should send you for the toss and ask you to select the squad, because now you want Hardik instead of Akshar.
Like as I said, because earlier also I mentioned that if Hardik Pandya is going to bowl, then because some
He's
reason
not
must
bowled
be there
for
that
so
he has been
long.
kept.
He's not bowled for probably from the Australia that ODI matches. You want him to come and straight bowl in a test match? Is that going to be easy?
Yeah, that's there, but then why was he even kept in the squad? Then that's also one question, because he was not there, of course, for the Australia tour in the test matches. Then why he was included in this particular, And
That's also
again,
a good
Baroda
point.
is also
Yeah, and just to add on the Hardik Pandya point, is probably the reason is that he may be bowling fit, but may not play this test and make him available for the fourth test. Probably they want to go in with that approach of making him fit for the fourth test, and that's why he's part of the squad now, so that in the nets he can do what is needed as a strategy. Yeah. I feel that he may be fit, but he may not be part of this playing 11.
So picking India's 11 players for this test match is, the guy who is spot on. He's going to be a billionaire. I bet, because the 11 players for this test match is going to be a tough ask. And knowing Virat and the way he picks his squads. Okay.
Yeah.
We spoke about India's batting. We know it's only the bowling. We are not sure who is going to partner. For me, I feel Bumrah will be there with Ishan, and Akshar will be there with Ashwin. It's just a fifth bowler's quantum, whether it's going to be Siraj, whether it's going to be Hardik Pandya, whether it's going to be Kuldeep, or whether it's going to be Washington Sundar. We'll come to know on Wednesday. I think it starts at 2:30 UAE India time.
India time 2:30. Yeah.
Fantastic. Now we discussed about India squad. Now let me come to you, Naresh, with the England squad. Your pick for England squad.
They have more changes that will come in, and they have rather more than us to get confused. And definitely Rory Burns will make way for Zach Crawley if he's fit, because he was their first choice opener along with Sibley. So Crawley will come in for Burns. Besto comes in, and for Lawrence probably. Ben Foakes will continue as a keeper. He was very impressive in the last test, so he would continue. And Besto comes in as a pure batsman. You have Joe Root. Ben Stokes is there. Again, Ben Stokes is a similar mystery like Hardik Pandya. He's not been used so much with the ball. And not sure about Oli Pope, because they have to look at who replaces Moeen Ali. Do they go in with an all-rounder of Chris Woakes, or do they get in Chris Woakes and Bess as the off spinner? So they do have the similar dilemma to, and all, as you say, it will be based on the pitch that they see that day in the morning actually. They would want to play Leach and Bess both. As I said, that 4 pacers may just be an overload there. Jeffra Archer, if fit, he comes in definitely, but otherwise Stone was very impressive also in the last test. But are they playing Broad and Anderson together? We'll get to know on that day. Otherwise, you may see Jeffra Archer, Stone and Anderson, or Chris Woakes. So we don't know who they would go in with the paces for, So, but they would want to bat deep. They had that concern if it's a turning track. The last test, they didn't do well with the bat. They want to bat deep for sure.
Yeah, do you agree to Naresh's point? Should they go with all-rounders or should they go with specialists? Because they also have equal amount of thinking whom to select for this. What is going to be your pick for their squad?
So Johnny Bairstow should definitely come in, according to me, because I think that he actually has played in India for IPL and everything. So he will also carrying that experience, and he has played well in the Sri Lanka series as well. So he can also come in. And I think that if I talk about their pace bowling department, of course there will be this tussle between if they're going to go with Stuart Broad and James Anderson together or not. But I think Jofra Archer will be a great option for the pink ball test match, knowing that he can. But I think that I'm really confused today. I think Chris Wokes as well is a great option for them, and they should definitely go for three pace bowling options, according to me. And Ben Stokes is one short selection. But the thing will be, if Chris Wokes is also going to play, then Ben Stokes, both are like pace bowling all rounders. So either of them, I guess, can play if that's the case, or maybe instead of Chris Wokes, they can go with. Jofra Archer, he can also actually give a good batting, according to me. So they actually have got a great deep batting. This is what I feel, and this is how it looks like. And yeah, I think Oli Pope should also be dropped.
You know what? I'm just loving it. I love the excitement, Dia, what you're showing. And obviously, don't get me wrong. You're not confused. It's the excitement, it's the passion, and you just can't wait for Wednesday to start. But I have a feeling ICC is going to make a special rule for this test match, like we used to have during those days, that you could probably swap one player for another if required. So maybe they will give you a choice of 12 players. What was that term called?
Super sub.
So मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि इस टेस्ट मैच के लिए they might tell India and England, guys, you're going to have a super sub. आप ये रखो साइड लाइन पे, जब भी आपको उसको अंदर लाना है ला सकते हो.
Or bowl a bouncer to hit the helmet.
But this is going to be interesting. You know why? Because
and as you say, it's so good that both the teams have so much of choice to choose from, and in the end, what they read as conditions, not necessarily they will go in with the perfect 11, because okay, in this type of setup of 5-day, there is a draw as an option, but otherwise one has to win, one has to lose. So it's actually good. It's good for cricket, the kind of players we are now seeing. It started from the India's tour of Australia, if you go to see.
All right, so as they say, looks are deceptive, the pitch is deceptive, and we don't know which players are going to be put on the park on come Wednesday. But as I said, the guy who's going to pick the squad right for both the teams definitely can become a billionaire. And there will be definitely a site which says that pick your 11 players of each, and you get this right players and you become XYZ. Anyway, अब हम आते हैं टॉस पे. हमने पहले थोड़ा डिस्कस किया था इसके बारे में, but Naresh, if India wins the toss, what should you
win the toss and bat first? Win the toss and bat first.
Grass है, नहीं है, जो भी है. Take the grass head on.
Take the grass
head on.
Yes. It will get slower, even if there's grass, as Dia said. First day or second day, it will get slow, and fourth inning is not an easy thing to bat on in India.
So Dia, have you made up your mind? Bat first, bat second, full grass?
Yeah, we can definitely bat first. I remember this test match again back in 2018 in Wanderers against South Africa. It was also green top wicket. Like it's not going to be that lethal at that the Wanderers one was, and still we batted first, and we won that test match. Beautifully actually. So I think that we should definitely, if we are going to win the toss, we should definitely bat first, no matter what score we make. We have to make sure that we back our bowlers, we back our batsmen, and just do well. We should definitely bat first.
So दोनों की तरफ से लॉक कर दीजिए कि टॉस जीतो, बैटिंग लो, और उमेश यादव फिट है तो उमेश यादव को खिलाओ. दोनों की तरफ से. That's your call, huh? Both of them. Just remember that.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll share the billion. Both of us will
share.
All right. Now let's come to our captain, Virat Kohli. We all know he had that test match where he was part of that 36 for 9 or probably 36 bowled out before he went for paternity leave. And he's not got 100 for a long time. Even though he's played 2 fine innings, even in the first test match, the second innings, the second test match, the second innings too, where he really showed how to bat on difficult wickets. It's due that he scores 100, Naresh?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what an occasion to do that, and completely erase Adelaide. As I said, again, it's the first session to do well, and it's going to be very hot, and I think India would like to bat that time. But if you even see at Adelaide, the last session, though wickets fell, I mean, it lasted only for 2.5 days. The 2 days, the last session, wickets also fell and a lot of runs were also scored.
Okay.
And Virat was part of day one. During that time, he was going very well, 72, when unfortunate run out happened. So I think he will be raring to go. And yes, 100 is due from him, and it will be great to see him in the pink ball.
Yes, so the temperatures are going to be around 30 degrees in the afternoon. That's what I was just checking on my mobile in Ahmedabad.
Yeah.
Dia, 100 from which Indian player are you expecting, or you are sure कि नहीं ये बंदा तो इंडिया के लिए सेंचुरी मारेगा ही? कौन मारेगा?
It has to be Virat Kohli, no matter what, because back in Eden Gardens as well, he got like 136. That 100, that should give him confidence. Back in in the Eden Gardens that he scored, then that 72 as well was one of the best knocks according to me, one of the best 50s that he got in those conditions. So I think this time around it's time to just get to that 100, just reach to that mark, because he has been he has done everything. It's not like that his form is not there or anything, that he's doing anything wrong. It's just something is happening around him, and that he's not able to score 100. So he is due big time, and according to me this is the best occasion to get to 100 and make your team win the test match and get into the finals of World Test Championship as a captain. So it has to be Kohli, no matter what.
Naresh, our opener Gill had a bad second test match, even though he's shown some class, rather showed consistency, scored a 90 odd in Brisbane, but there is some technical issue with him.
I don't see that. I don't see, but obviously there's always area of improvement on judging the right ball to leave outside the off stump. He likes to play on the up, but he has a very good footwork. Maybe, and he's got a good aggressive partner in Rohit Sharma to start off with. So both show good aggression when they start. But yeah, technically I think he's very sound compared to what we have seen in the last couple of months. So I'll still back him, and yeah, if along with Virat, if Gill can get a big score, that would be something good. We all would like to watch.
This is my worry, which Naresh mentioned, that both are aggressive batsmen. Now, when you have a combination of a Sehwag or a Wasim Jaffer or a Warner and a guy who doesn't go for runs, who tries to hold one end, here we are having two attacking batsmen. Can't we put Pujara straight up the order and bring Gill down? Dia, is it playing fire?
I feel that actually that might not work according to me, because if a batsman is being bagged at one particular position, then we should definitely stick to that particular position only. And I think that although both of them are definitely attacking batsmen, but still I think that Rohit Sharma still is the one who takes the charge up, and he is the one who consistently rotates the strike and everything, and keep the run rate up. And Gill definitely understands this thing. Of course, he also loves to play those shots. But Pujara at 3 will be the best thing for us, because we cannot, if he gets out in one of those 10 or 15 overs, one of our best test batsmen, then, we will be in that kind of a position where, we might get bowled out for less runs. And he is the one who can hold up to, that one particular position. And it's really important that, he should also come to bat at that particular point of time when the new ball, gets a bit old, and, he's able to defend the ball. This is what I feel. So I think Gill at top, definitely, because he's still very young and he should be given that backing at that particular spot only. And if we'll keep on shuffling, it might, hamper his confidence. This is what I feel. And I think their combination is pretty good, and we should definitely go on with this only.
मैंने just अंधेरे में तीर मारा था. I know Pujara will not be pushed up in order. It's just that I wanted to see whether you might agree कि नहीं चलो Pujara को आगे भेज देते. But nonetheless, you are not going to obviously change now that you've had Gill at opening with Rohit Sharma. Yeah. Now it's time that somebody, if one guy is attacking, the other guy needs to probably put his head down rather than attacking from both ends, because you're not playing ODI cricket. So that you block one side, you don't have to play tentative cricket or negative cricket. But if you are getting runs from the other side and you don't give wickets from one side, like last match, Rohit was attacking, and unfortunately Gill misjudged the line and the ball came and it was LBW. But My problem with Pujara, 4 innings, not pick score to scores, and also not number of deliveries faced. Concern for Pujara? Naresh?
No, not at all. I mean, he's 6,000 plus runs in Test cricket. He knows what needs to be done. I think, I think when he walks in, we all expect that he's going to play a long inning and he'll be around and others will bat around him. But absolutely no concern when it comes to Pujara. We will definitely see him play longer innings and play more balls out. Absolutely no issue with that.
You see, Dia, he had found ways to get out. If you remember the last innings, he got
That
run
was
out.
very
His bat
unfortunate. Yeah,
fell down, and then he pulled the ball. It hit the short legs player, fielder, and he was
Yeah.
caught. But he has a good record in Ahmedabad. If I'm not wrong, he scored a double hundred against England a few years back when India lost that series, rather won that Test match, but then went on to the lose series. So this is a good memory he will carry. Do you remember that double hundred, Dia? First Test match.
No, I don't. Was it like back in 2012 or something? Oh, the one in 2016.
Probably 12. The one which we lost that series.
Okay, I was too small. I like never watched cricket back then that much, like when I was like 11, 12 years old. Now I'm very much interested. So actually I don't remember that knock, but I would say last time we were, questioning Rahane and, all of that things were happening that he was not able to score in the first test match, but he proved himself in the second one. And although he got a decent 50, but still he was looking very good and he changed his technique and everything. All of that happened. But there's nothing wrong with Chiteshwar Pujara or, anything. It's just, he's also a big time due, and that can also happen in this test match only. Virat Kohli is also yet to make 100. He's also yet to make 100. Maybe in this test match that thing might happen. At times it's just the luck factor that's not favoring you, and that might be the case with both of them. So let's see. As they say, the luck favors the brave. So they just have to be brave and just go out there and score runs and maybe defend and just hang in there. So they'll definitely get to the triple digits. This is what I think.
I remember Pujara scoring the double hundred after he was dropped at Madon, probably by Broader at that test match. Nonetheless, I have a feeling, a sneak feeling, maybe I'm wrong and I want Virat Kohli to score 100, but the guy who might get you the 100 in this test match is Pujara. Let's see.
Yeah.
All right. Before I wind up, Naresh, India going 2-1 up in the series?
Yeah. India is going 2-1 up.
And India is winning the toss and batting first.
Yes.
Or even if we lose the toss, India is going 2-1 up.
Yeah. Will be tough. It will be tough if we bat second, but yeah, India is going all out for a win. And
but India is winning, right? Tough over here, easy or nothing
India
comes
is
easy
winning.
in life.
India is winning.
Sure shot.
Yeah, India is winning.
That's like a true Indian Bharat Army fan. Dia? 2-1 up?
Definitely winning. No chance. Yes, 2-1 up.
कोई चांस नहीं है बारिश का धीरे दूर तक बारिश अहमदाबाद में नहीं है.
There is no
barish. Anything cannot disrupt this test match. I feel that this test, like not even a draw. We are definitely going for a win only. I can't see any draw also happening in this test match, and India is definitely gonna go for a kill and winning the toss, bat first, and win the test match.
Well, this is going to be exciting. I really had a great show with both of you guys.